Hey guys and gals, it has been a long time since I've made a video, probably almost a year, because I was studying and doing some school stuff, and we're in a new apartment now, which, you know, it is what it is, a very limited space for musical stuff, but I'm trying to set up a new place for my music endeavors, and if you've seen any of my old videos from a year, 2 years, 3 years ago, you know that I've got pretty limited guitar skills, and yet I still try and have fun. And so that's what I'm trying to do by kind of relaunching this space here. Is that I love music. Ever since I was a kid, growing up in the 70s and the 80s, 80s metal was my thing, and still very much is. And so just a couple things. There's not a lot of subscribers to my channel, and that's totally fine. What I found is there are people out there that learn just like I learned. Like when I get a new piece of gear or something and I play around with it and upload a video, somebody's out there, they're thinking about buying something like this, and they'll listen to it and get something out of it. And that's how I bought most of my gear recently, is by people doing videos of amps and guitars and effects, and that was so valuable to me when I started actually investing in guitar gear this time around. So I'm grateful to be, in a place where I have a little bit of money to throw at music. Even though music isn't making me money, it makes me happy. So I've got this little station. I'm going to have a laptop here. I've got a nice little couple of quad stereo speakers here, and a couple of amps around, and I hope to be kind of fine-tuning this, and I am not a shred master. A couple notes I wanted to make for those of you that might be stumbling onto one of my videos. Check out the other videos from a year or 2 years ago. You'll see that I make lots of mistakes. I have very limited guitar skills, and yet, I love to explore amps. I like to, be able to just kind of glimpse at, what some of my, my hero players like Nuno and Van Halen, and how these guys put together their leads. Maybe I can tag along a little bit. But number one, when you watch my videos, I have no editing software at all. Like, I don't have a passion for that. I don't have time for editing. So I push the play button and I start recording something, and I plug in, and it's going to be messy. And that's just my style. I don't have any more time to get into really cool video editing to make everything look tidy and to give everything effects. That's number one. Number two, very limited guitar skills. I love playing guitar, but it comes naturally to some. I have to work very hard at it. And then, so that's number one. No video editing software. Number two, limited skills. Number three, most of what I do is just kind of fucking around with different pieces of gear. For example, I want to review this guy again. The Behringer Vintage Tube Overdrive. I love this fucking pedal. I think it was like 25 bucks. And when I get time, I'm going to cross-reference these in my opinion. Just my opinion. I bought this used, this Zakk Wylde Overdrive, for 40 bucks. I bought this new for 25. In my opinion, this is so fucking noisy. Very noisy. When I plug in, I can't really utilize it without having a bunch of feedback and stuff. When I use this, it is silent. It is quiet. It is well behaved. And I know there's some folks out there that love this piece of equipment, and that's okay. Maybe I need to learn how to use it. But I'm just going to cross-reference some stuff. I've got a couple of guitars. I really love LTDs. So I've got 3 of them, and I'll kind of bring them out over the next couple of months. This guy right here is my heavy metal LTD. And I've got it plugged into the Yamaha THR-10X. So each one of these guitar purchases has a story but I started watching reviews about people buying LTDs, and I really like these guitars, and these were really inexpensive in my opinion. I've got a couple of different amps that I hope to highlight. I've got a Bugera little tube, I think it's a 5 watt. I've got the Blackstar solid state, I think it's a 15 watt. I've got a Yamaha THR-10X here too, which is just really cool. To plug something in and just flip on right away. You don't have to wait for the tubes to warm up. Down here, I don't know if you guys can see, at this end, can you see? You can. That's a custom 1x12 cabinet with a custom 1 watt all tube. And then on top of it, I've got a little orange Micro Terror 20 watt. So, I mean, it seems like a nice collection of different types of amp styles, and mix and matching the different cabinets and things like that is fun for me. I bought this guy and have had a blast with it, the G1ON Multi-Effects. This is stuff I really haven't unpacked yet. And this baby, this is probably the first pedal, not this exact one, but the first pedal I ever had as a kiddo in the 1980s. And I saw Don Carr on the Sweetwater website highlighting this again. This is expensive. These are like 70 or 80 bucks, which is to me a lot of money for a pedal. It is so much fun. I don't spend a lot of time with it, but it's got such rich fuzz and sustain. It's really cool. So I hope to highlight the Big Muff again. This is the full size one. And just kind of playing with different equipment. And so, you know, every once in a while, I might demo a particular exercise that I've stumbled onto, like an alternate picking thing, not because I want to impress anybody, but because it's something that I'm all of a sudden, hey, wow, my skills are expanding by doing this alternate picking exercise. And maybe somebody's, you know, is basic at guitar as I am out there, and they might get something out of that. So it's certainly not shred material, although that's certainly the kind of guitarist that I love. You know, my passions are Buckethead and Paul Gilbert and Van Halen and Aerosmith and Ratt and Dokken, and so that's where my passion is. And so I hope to get this set up. I've got the Marshall 4x12, which haven't really explored much at all, but that Blackstar with a little overdrive pedal in front of it sounds incredibly gritty and has quite a bite to it. So I just have a blast mixing and matching different gear. You know I'm a Nuno fan. I get what I like to think kind of a Nuno style tone out of that Blackstar with a little bit of reverb, and this pedal, it's just got a little extra bite to it. I'm grateful to have this back up. I'm going to be uploading some videos, not as much as I used to because I'm working 2 jobs now, but I'm working on getting some decent lighting. As you can see, that's still still a project that I'm undertaking, but a little better lighting for these videos. And you know, stop on in, make a comment if there's anything that I've purchased that you'd like to know more about. The little looper that's inside this guy is, I think, super valuable. I think this was like a $50 pedal, and I think it's got a 45 or a 30-second looper, which is quite nice. I'll be unpacking this and doing some more stuff with this. So anyways, stay in touch. You know, post some comments if you want me to kind of unpack something here, and glad to be back. You guys enjoy.